Hi, everyone. Lori Flasco here, and I have the great privilege to share with you an amazing customer experience story. But joining me is Angie Carson. Angie is from the Camera Store. Welcome, welcome, Angie. And I'm so glad that you're joining us today.
Thanks so much, Lori.
So, Angie, just before I tell my story, will you just let everybody know a little bit about yourself and where you work?
Yeah, so I work at the Camera Store, and I've been with the Camera Store for 5.5 years, and I am the online sales manager, and I do everything to do with online sales.
Fantastic. I believe you live in one of the most beautiful places of the world. Anybody who knows me knows that if I could live anywhere, that's actually where I would live, but my husband
Oh.
wouldn't join me. You live in Alberta, so right smack by
Mhm.
the Rocky Mountains, absolutely gorgeous. So thank you. Thank you for joining us. So let me tell everybody the story and some of the details, because actually back up to another situation. I was dealing with let's say, buying some pens and paper from a really well-known brand in the area. Had some defaulty pens, took them back. I didn't have the receipt. And it was during COVID, and the pen did not work. Even though the pen box had their brand on it, they wouldn't take it back for $10, and I won't go back to the store. So it's kind of interesting because my story with the Camera Store was so different. From the start, I placed my order. I found you online, and I even called the store to get some help. And your staff was amazing on this at the store, which I think is great. First. And I have bought this little Rhodes mini mic. So anybody who wants one, I love them, and get them from the Camera Store. But anyway, I get the mic and it doesn't work. Well, I didn't know it didn't work at first. I unwrapped it. I threw the packaging away because I was so excited. And it took me probably about 2 weeks to actually get it going and working. So I threw the packaging away, and then I plug it in, and it sounded like I was on, when you take the helium in, it sounded like this baby talk. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I thought it was a setting. It wasn't. I'm plugging it in and plugging it out. And finally somebody said, maybe you didn't plug it in all the way. So I thought, okay, good idea. I plugged it in, and then it worked. And I thought, okay, that's that. It's just me, which is pretty normal with technology. So then I have these interviews and keynotes and things I'm doing. And every single time I tried to plug it in, that would happen. And I'd fiddle around with it, and it wouldn't work. So I turned my computer off and reboot it. Like, I went through this every single day, and sometimes several times during the day. And because I was busy, I never called you to let you know. And then finally, I just couldn't take it anymore. I thought, this is crazy. So I picked up the phone knowing that I threw away the box. And I got you, Angie. Amazing. First of all, a great smile in your voice when I was dealing with you. And what I appreciated most is you went right into problem solving mode. You didn't question me. Well, first of all, you asked how long ago it was that I bought it. And I had said I didn't know exactly, but it was like a month or less. And you didn't, say, oh, you're wrong, or anything like some places might do. And you jumped right into problem solving mode. So tell us what that process was like. What did you do?
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, like the last thing that we want anybody to have is a defective product that, if it's not working, it doesn't even serve your purpose. And my actually one big fear was that it might have been your computer. I was like, oh, I hope it's the microphone, because I wouldn't want you to have to replace your computer after all of this. But yeah,
Yeah,
the
and
big
we
thing
did. We
was,
checked my computer. I tried it
yeah,
on the mic on another computer,
another
and it
one.
was
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah. So I guess the big thing is, like, when you throw away manufacturer packaging, a lot of times manufacturers will say, no, well, no, we can't take it back. And so that makes the defective exchange process a little bit trickier, but we do have a pretty well-oiled team that is kind of in charge of their different departments. And so right away, when I heard about your problem, I went to our repairs manager to see if there was anything she could do to convince the manufacturer that they could take the product back without the packaging. And she worked her magic and gave me the thumbs up to proceed. And fortunately, it was fairly quick as far as hearing back from them and getting that organized. And so we were able to get you your shipping label and get your microphone back. And you needed one right away, another replacement. So we got a new order through for you and shipped that one out. And I would imagine we would see your defective microphone any day now.
Any day.
Yeah.
Well, and what a great process, but let me take apart a few of the things that you said, because right away you didn't say no to me. You didn't say, I don't know, I'll have to check with the manufacturer. It was, let me take care of this and see what I can do. And I love that, because it meant that I knew you were going to go to work for me and that you cared about me. And so the other thing that I really appreciated, and I think you called me back or something like that, and fairly quickly, but you didn't say, I have to check with this department or that department. You jumped through loops in the background. I had no idea what you had to do. But when you came back and you reported, you said, whoever it was, my other counterpart worked their magic. And I love that word, by the way. What a great word, because your words are important too. But work the magic, and it's going to work, and this is what we're going to do. And it was a creative process that you talked about. It was like, wow, what a completely different experience. You told me you were going to check with the manufacturer too, and you would call me back, and you did right away. And of course, I'm happy because I got good news. What, again, an amazing customer experience. And why that's important, and I think you touched on it, is because if this didn't happen, I know it was my fault. I know I should never have thrown away the box, but I would have had to buy another replacement, and I would have bought it from you. And I wouldn't have been a loyal customer. Like, I would have, at that point, it's like, okay, yeah, it's my fault. I have to buy another one. But you know what? I am absolutely going to deal with you for anything that I buy electronically. I know I can call, and you guys are amazing. And I know that you stand behind your product and you really care about your customers. So tell me about the policy, because many businesses have policy that are against the customers, like the one I was telling you about before. But yours is different. Why?
Well, I think a big part of it is if we can make it happen and, we can facilitate it, the owners of the business, they don't want their customers to have products that they can't use. It serves no purpose to, their customers' businesses, their creativity, their day-to-day life. And it's a family-run business, and it started, as just a brick and mortar store. But now with, online and that sort of thing, we've had to develop, essentially the same customer service online as what, people find in store. And I think that's a big thing that the camera stores strive to do over time. And especially now more than ever, with everybody shopping online, it's changed that experience. And we have a lot of customers even that have shopped in store for years and years and now have moved on to online shopping, and they are still looking for the customer service and that very similar experience that they've had in store previously.
So one of the things that I noticed that you did when you spoke to me is very quickly, I thought, gee, she's so friendly and nice. what do you do to keep, I mean, because I was complaining and I had a bad situation. So I wasn't really complaining, but I had I had a bad situation. So what do you do to just be so nice, so genuine? And what do you do for that attitude?
Well, I think I just, I put myself in, other people's shoes. I mean, I wouldn't want a product if it wasn't working, and it is frustrating, and technology is frustrating. So empathizing, I think, is one thing that I always remind myself to do. And, I hear of, I get a variety of phone calls from different situations, and just putting myself in other people's shoes definitely helps.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
think that's probably one of the biggest skills that you can do, right? Or that you can nurture and use.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just that much easier when people feel like you're empathizing with their problem, opposed to just pushing them to the side, because, just pushing people away doesn't make the problem go away or take care of anything any faster. Um, so yeah, I think people appreciate when they're empathized with.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other tips you have for, COVID has been a long, hard time, and everybody's going online. And, from one of the things that I hear from some of the people that are frontline and dealing with a lot of customers, they can be more challenging maybe than before, because we've gone through a lot. But what do you do to keep your attitude and spirit up? Like, you deal with call after call after call. So how do you
Mhm.
answer that next one with the great attitude that you have? What are some things you do?
Well, I think the big thing is I've spent a lot of time, like over the 5 years, developing an online community. So
Mm,
now it's gotten to the point when people call, I already know who they are, I know where they live, how's the weather, all of those types of things. Just create a sense of community, even though we're not face to face. There's people that I talk to on a weekly or monthly basis, and it's, sometimes it's the first time, but it's a great opportunity to introduce myself and connect with those people. um, and yeah, and I mean, everybody's at home, or they're engaging less, so people are kind of, they're friendly and they want to chat with somebody um, along the way, like they would in store, and I think that makes it a lot easier.
hmm. Well,
Yeah.
Angie, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your tips and for me, amazing customer experience and this amazing
Yay.
microphone that works. And I appreciate all that you've done. So thanks for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks so much, Lori.
Okay, don't forget the camera store in Alberta, online, best service, best mics. And by the way, a shout out to your manager, Julian. I did call him to let him know about you because again, I really think you rock. So
Oh.